so making the decisions quickly. And I tend to move my queen out to b6, and so I wanted to leave that option open. And so I just made the quick decision, took with my bishop. Next time in this kind of situation, I'll probably take with the queen and start pointing at this diagonal here. But I didn't. And my opponent played b3 here, which is a big mistake. Obviously, he just hangs his knight. So what he was thinking was he's trying to prevent me from playing c4, but I wasn't thinking that. Obviously, his knight's just hanging, so I take it. Bishop takes c3. Now you can see here, I'm up a piece already. He plays rook c1. I play b4 to lock in this bishop. It's a very strong bishop in this situation. And at this point, I was just completely confident that I'm going to win the game. And to be honest, I started thinking about what I was going to do next instead of staying in the moment, like playing the game and staying focused. I start to let myself slip a little bit. He plays a3, attacking my pawn, trying to undermine this bishop here. I play a5 naturally. It's a very, very natural move here to play a5 and just maintain control over here on the queen side. Like I said, I'm always looking to attack on the queen side in these close positions, and I managed to do so and to get a good, strong bishop here. My opponent played a4, just locking up the queenside pawns. And so here I have a lot of options. There's not very many bad moves. I can develop my queen someplace. I can develop this bishop. Maybe out. What I chose was the knight to d7, which I think is the best move. I want to get this knight out and into this strong e5 square here, or maybe onto f6, and then develop my bishop. My opponent played. Oops. He plays bishop to c4, which I think is just a silly move. For one, it is his e5 pawn is hanging now, and I could just take it. I chose not to. I wanted to initiate a trade. Now that I'm up a piece, I wanted to initiate a trade here, and so bishop a6 forces a bishop trade. He can either take, and I take with my rook, or he can just back off and I take it somewhere else, or he can leave it there and I'll take it, and he pushes his pawn here. That'll end up isolating this pawn and giving me a strong pass pawn here. So he chose to take bishop takes, rook takes, and so I've succeeded in being up material, and now I've succeeded in starting to trade down while I'm up material. This game's looking very good for me, and I'm feeling terribly confident. And I couldn't see how I could possibly lose at this point. I can just play slow and positional and keep improving my position and take my time and think about each move. And my opponent played queen d3, which is a natural move, and put some pressure here on the bishop. And at this point, I realized he was probably going to end up sacking his rook for the bishop, even though he's down material. He needs to get rid of that strong bishop. And also he's threatening double attack on this, and he's also attacking the rook here. So I expected him at this point to sacrifice. I move the rook out, and sure enough, rook takes, b takes, queen takes, c3. And so now I'm up even more material. I'm feeling even more confident. But as you can see, the dark squares around my king are very weak, and his queen is shooting down into that diagonal. And I realized if he can get a knight here onto to g5 and find a way to get his queen over here on the h-file, I can put pressure on my king. I got nervous about that. But for the time being, I went ahead and just took this free pawn here, and rook takes e5. Now, notice my a pawn is hanging. That's okay with me. I don't mind that I'm hanging a pawn. I'm taking a pawn to hang a pawn. And if he was to take with his queen at this point, I can take with my rook here. And you can just see how much pressure I've mounted on my opponent. My next move could be rook takes bishop. I'm sorry. Here, let's put this on the board. I'm sorry, that doesn't work for my queen hangs. Okay, never mind that. Rook takes e4, and here my opponent blundered, and I actually didn't see it. He played knight to g5, which just hangs. I can just take it, and he would have to resign. He's down far too much material. But to be honest, I was already feeling so overconfident. I was just thinking, slow, improving moves, improve my position. I played rook e5, double attacking the knight and the pawn. And this is just frustrating to me that I missed something that simple. And the reason I missed it is because I was so focused on slow moves. I realized I was up, and I said, okay, I'm smart. I don't have to rush fast. I can make slow moves and slowly improve my position, and I can win easily. And so I miss obvious moves. Like queen takes g5, and the game would just be over. There's nothing left for my opponent to do. And, takes, and there's like I'm up so much material, it's ridiculous. But I made a blunder, and he made a blunder, and I missed it. Rook e5. So my opponent plays f4, which is natural. And at this point, I should have just gone ahead and taken the. I think I should have just gone ahead and taken the knight here, let him take my rook, and take the pawn here. And I'm mounting pressure on his king. I have a knight coming up here very soon. I can move my pawn up this way. I'm feeling good at this point. But I missed. I missed that as well. I went ahead and took the pawn, which is probably just as good as sacking the rook for the knight and the pawn here. And my opponent went ahead and took queen takes a5. Now notice my rook's not hanging. I've got two pieces attacking it. But if I was to say like take pawn takes right here, you can see my queen's hanging. I'm in check, and this is real bad for me. There's probably force mates here coming soon. So I have to leave my rook where it is for now. Or I have to bring it back this way and initiate a queen trade. I played rook to d3, which isn't a bad move. My next move is going to be, rook takes here, and he'd have to come back over and defend. My opponent went ahead and played queen to e1, and I played rook b takes. I figured having two rooks up here in the 6th rank would be powerful. And here my opponent played queen h4. Now this got me worried. I realized obviously right here I'm close to being mated if my opponent can find a way to attack this pawn. And I thought for a while on this move, and I started thinking, do I just run my king out and try and find a way to escape? You can imagine if I play something like this. I mean, there's lots of tactics. Look, knight e6, check, f takes, queen takes. I lost my queen, and I'm back to losing. So I realized that running wasn't a good idea. I considered where am I? I considered coming up here, but this is just forced, mate. No matter which way I go can go f6. This is mate here. So moving my king isn't an option. So I realized I need to get a piece in here if I'm going to do anything. And I missed the obvious defense. It's a very obvious defense, and I missed it, and I played a less good one. And the obvious defense here is h5. Just locks down that square, and now his queen's looking silly all the way over here on h4. There's nothing for it to do. There's no attack that it can have over here, and his queen would have to come back out to queen e1. I've improved my position, and now I can start attacking. Queen b or rook b2 would be good. But obviously black is just like far in the lead here, and should be an easy win.